Fucking bullshit.
Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Oh, have you seen what Dave's been saying?
What did he say?
Dave says, "Don't worry, Dean wasn't probably saying J.F.K. shot himself." Thanks, Dave.
Exactly, Dave. You're totally right. That is, yeah. It wasn't CIA, it wasn't the FBI, it wasn't the no.
Apparently, Richard. Apparently,
Hey, Richard.
To the what's it called? To the poll, it was you because you're a knob.
Oh yeah, that was very good, wasn't it? Yeah.
Evening, James. How you doing? Damage, says Richard. Damage.
Exactly. Right. So, according to that poll, I think other than me doing it, they were signing for the. It was a loan, weren't it? He did it alone.
That's right. Yeah. I do.
It was close. It weren't like a massive landslide.
No. But to say that the majority of the votes thought it was you, it's.
The people that are here, one, he did it alone. Two, it was some kind of conspiracy. Because you did word it wrong a bit, was when you did the typing thing. You just said CIA. It could have been the Mexicans, Cubans, the mafia, blah, blah. But some, other than Lee Harvey Oswald by himself, was it one for him, two for a conspiracy of some sorts?
Oh, two. James says two. James says two.
Evening and good night, Paul. Paul, are you one? He did it alone, or two? Conspiracy, or three? I'm going to bed. I can't be arsed with this shit.
See, because there's a thing where Oswald did it alone, but was he coerced? Was he helped?
Well, that's a conspiracy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So Dave from Suriname. How do Dave? How do Mark?
Right, mate. Dave's from Australia. He lives in Suriname. Boping young dog, mate.
What's your favourite colour, Blue? I always like doing that one with Australians. What's your favourite hobby sport?
Oh my God! I just realised, right? I can't start. I've got a massive split in my front of my tracksuit bottoms. And if I stand up, I'm gonna have to go and change my pants. I thought, what's that in my hand?
What, you tackle out?
Yeah, I've listened for I'm doing this.
You can't walk around with let's have a look now. We've got some good theory. John's in. How do, John? So James Rothwell says,
yeah, what should have you say? I'm going to change my pants.
Yeah. James says, careful. Early MK Ultra. Dean says it was 3 different shots from 3 different groups. How come they were all bullets from the same gun then, Dean? Baz indoors is here. Hey up, Baz. How we doing, pal? What do you reckon, Baz and Dean? I know what Dean thinks. Dean thinks it's a conspiracy, so is James. Baz, what do you reckon of JFK, pal? Do you reckon good night to all in chat night, like 6 more weeks to go back to work? He just comes on to go to bed, does Paul? It says. What do you reckon, Baz? Do you reckon Oswald did it alone? How do more go? Do you reckon Oswald did it alone? Or do you think there was a conspiracy? Anita's here. Hello, Anita. Assassinated for sure. Yeah, we know he's assassinated, Baz. Dean says it wasn't. So Dean says there was 3 different shooters, even though all 3 bullets came from the same gun.
I think one of the worst things that you sent me was that one. It was a really well produced thing. This is what really annoyed me about it. And part of the point of how these programs and how we can be sold a version of the story. It was the first one. It bounced off the tarmac, hit him a bit, and he went, "What's that?" And then the second bullet, he went through the throat one, and then the third one was the grassy knoll, because it had to back into the left back. Blah blah blah, but it's an example of a massive production of a TV. They got all this private investigator from Australia who's like a well-known guy. He can find the answers to everything, and blah blah blah. But the whole thing was a load of shit.
Yes.
Your turn.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing is.
Is that why you sent me that? Because it was a lot of shit. It was like
Yes,
well
to show
produced.
you how a different point.
Right.
How many times you have to explain that to you? Oh, you spaz. It was to show you how
3 more.
it was a different one, wasn't it? Nobody's ever heard the security guard shooting him in the back of the head with the fucking M16, had they? And how well it
No,
was
I've heard that
done.
before.
Oh, shut up, you dick. Right, where are we?
Well, that's what it was. Oh, yeah. The third one was the CIA guy. And yeah.
Yeah. Mogo, at least 5 shooters and more as backup. David says you'll never find the truth. Well,
Correct.
Yeah, correct. Well, no, I think it's
No.
fairly sorted that.
Impossible to get the truth.
No, I think it's fairly concrete that Oswald did it. I think with all the evidence, that's fairly concrete that he did it. There's no two ways about that. But whether
just fuck was off for the evening. Right, what we'll talk about is better versions of the story than the what this prick has got.
So when I say inside job, Mike says it was the mafia. You got to go to find Ryan Dawson and James Corbett, both top researchers. We've been looking at every researcher, Dean. You know what I mean? And it's like, Dean, you can go down. It's all right. You can find a pattern in anything. We did that before. You can go and go and go and go and go and chase stuff all over the show. You can go forever. But the thing is we were watching the trial, weren't we? We watched that trial.
Yeah, one of the best things you could, and I think I didn't know about this till about 3 days ago, and I sent it to Woz. There's a full trial, a mock trial, but from 1986, 23 years later. But it's a really good trial of what, because they also have a lot of the people that was actually witnesses from 23 years before.
Yeah, they had all the witnesses and everybody who was involved, witnesses, people who were involved, like doing the autopsy. They had CIA guys in, didn't they? Had everything, didn't they?
I really love that black guy with him that was below the.
The guy, Dean, that was below the window where Oswald was and heard the 3 shots and heard the.
Yeah. Could it have not been some 6-inch nails that dropped on? No, it was some goddamn honky with a gun up above me. Are you sure about that? Yeah, I've seen him.
Damn
Who was it? It was that Lee Harvey Oswald. Yeah, but maybe no. All right, wasn't it that?
Yeah, it's like exaggeration there and everything.
It was Oswald, nothing like that.
Dean says Oswald didn't have a chance of shooting him from where he was. Let's have a look, shall we?
Right.
Why didn't he have a chance to shoot him from where he was? Patton's my horse. It's the truth he wants. No, it's patterns that you want. D, get yourself on. D, come on, get yourself on. Let's have it out. Come on, we want people on. I'll put the link up for you. Let's get people on here.
It's totally proven that the shot is more than doable on several occasions.
Yep. Absolutely, totally, and unbelievably doable. Because where is it? I looked into it. Let's have a look. Let's get some. Where are we?
He finished off as a marksman. But what was it? Well, I haven't wrote it down, of course. But when he first joined the Marines, he was a sharpshooter.
It was 2.1 or 2.2, wasn't he, or something like that?
2.12. By the time he wanted to get out, he couldn't be arsed with the army, but all that blah, blah, blah. He did a shit result. He was trying to get out of the army.
Yeah.
But when he was in and he was on it, he was a sharpshooter. Yeah. So if he really wants to do it, and he's got the gun, he'd be back practicing to do what he wants to do. You can't go off that. Even a marksman, he could fucking shoot.
Yeah, he was absolutely. And the thing was, he tried it and done it. He was a top marksman, and he had totally had the ability to do it. And they've done it with that gun. They've tried it, and they've done all the experiments with it, and it's absolutely doable. And now. The thing is now they've got a lot because they did another after was it the J.F.K. film came out? They did another big investigation on it because they released all the files, didn't they, and everything because of Oliver Stone again with his this is what I think. Let's do a bloody big do about it. And they did it all. They took all the lasered everything and took all the computerized, all the images and all that, and where it were all from. Straight there, straight there. All this magic bullet theory, complete bollocks. Where it's turning around and doing all this kind of shit. Didn't do anything of the sort like that. It went straight through his neck, went straight through Governor Connolly, and went through his ribs, come out there, hit his wrist, and then part way stuck into his leg. That's exactly what happened. So,
I mean, that always bothered me that the bullet being found and the shape of the bullet being looking so well from that photograph.
yeah,
But you see other photographs, the bullet wasn't as pristine as that one photograph. You think, well, how could it do all that?
That's it.
And then you understand more about the types of bullets and blah blah blah.
Can you see a bullet how it's all out of shape there? You see that bullet there, how it's out of shape? That's the looking down onto it.
I can't see. Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the one,
so that's a massive
bullet,
difference between that image that it show you.
Yeah, because they were saying about the bullets, all these marksmen, they were saying about it, and it's a really the gun isn't the best gun in the world, but it's good enough, because it's only a short range, and the bullet is really stable. It's a proper, really good, stabilized bullet. Then when it went through Kennedy's neck, because also when they go on about it, Kennedy's kind of like that in his chair. He's not sat up like that. Do you know when they say it goes through his neck? He's kind of hunched like that. So it goes through his back because his neck's down a bit, then comes through his neck. As it comes through his neck, the bullet starts to tumble because it destabilizes. So then when it goes into Governor Connolly in the front, the bullet is starting to spin over like that. And that's what happens when it goes through him and then comes out here. But it all goes completely straight. It goes completely straight. See, people forget as well, because this is the one, right, from Oliver Stone's bloody shot from his film. Can you see how they're showing the magic bullet there? Can you see? Can you see how they're sat? They weren't sat like that. Governor Connolly, because them middle seats, see, they don't show the driver there.
Yeah.
Can you see? Now, they're in the middle seats, and they have these special little seats called jump seats that are lower down and also further into the middle. So when he's not sat to the side like that, he's actually sat closer over to the middle. So with a bullet that shows it going into Kennedy's back there, can you see the one that's going into his back? That goes in a straight line through Connolly, but Connolly is further into the middle than what it shows there. He's not sat like that. That's a complete bollocks, is that? And it goes in a complete straight line right through. So there, that's it, finished. Right, good night.
In one of them trials, the guy explains all that with the magic bullet. That bullet had to go through here. There's no way it hit there. And he says, "Oh, so it's hit the driver then?" Because the way you're showing it, when it goes the way you're saying it, it has to hit somebody. And the driver. So did it hit the driver? He goes, "No, but it was somewhere in the." It was like, "Oh shit!" Of course, if he doesn't hit Connolly, he's got to hit the driver. He's got to hit. He's going head somewhere. I mean, coincidentally, the guy in front gets shot by somebody else. Pack it in.
Exactly.
No, at the same time, no, they did it exactly at the same time. Pack it in, for folks.
All right, lads, he says, Lee Harvey Oswald did it from the grassy knoll, the end next. Go on, Days. Go on.
It wasn't the grassy knoll, actually.
Dean says he's going to try to get on. He's going to have to do his hair and change his clothes. Yeah, Steve's said to do that.
Yeah. Have you been to? Have you tried going on Google Earth? You can go there. You can actually go to the back of the grassy knoll. There's a car park there now.
Oh, all right. Can you see a man with a
gun? I've had a great wander around, mate. I've had a great wander around. Have I?
Head on, Carlos is on. J.F.K. was shot by Sandra. J.F.K. was shot by Sandra. A birdie was banging and he fucked her off. Nothing like a woman scoring. Well, that's all doable. Dave's here. All right, Dave. Dave, we sorted it out. I've just told him J.F.K. shot himself in the face and that was it. It was just a complete hunting accident. He had a gun down here and he's like, hey, look at me going, let me see me going. Oh, what a dick. So, yeah. No, but, see, this all came about from when me and Steve were watching the Oliver Stone this new documentary, weren't we, the other week?
Yeah.
And fucking hell, documentary my fucking ass. It's just another one of his films, isn't it? All the
Well, and the
bloody,
point of what we presumed the documentary was almost not an apology, but a fresh look of all the fuck up he did from the 1991 or 2
yeah,
JFK, where we all the back and to the left, oh, blah, blah, we all, oh my God,
yeah.
the CIA, whoever have killed 100% by this, there's no way it was from behind. Of course, it's from the front, back and to the left. What a lot, I mean, as well as, bloody, what's it called? The comedian, bloody, what's it called?
Oh, Bill Hicks. Bill
Bill
Hicks.
Hicks, because we're all into that at the same time, and he was like a massive conspiracist, and we're all like, "Wow, yeah, Bill
Yeah.
Hicks knows the answer." You know, and but anyway, as time's gone by, we thought that JFK the one was going to be a refreshing look at, but no, it was a bigger, worse version of
Oh,
bullshit than the first
absolutely.
one. So disappointing that.
Yeah, it was. It was proper ad. I've got an agenda here, and I don't give a shit
Yeah,
about any of the other facts. This is where I'm going straight. See, the problem is, like Oliver Stone and all these
cue
filmmakers,
the music, put
is
the voice on.
they are the greatest historians in the 20th century. You know, like all now, and they are because most people. I didn't know much about JFK until that JFK film, and they've got the facts from that and believed because they believe people will watch films and think they're true and do exactly the same with documentaries. Here you've
Yeah.
got Oliver Stone, who loads of people well respected. Oh, it's Oliver Stone. They must be telling. I mean, I saw him on Joe
Well,
Rogan,
it's
and
such power in it for them
yeah,
to tell us that story. We
especially
proper
when you do
trust
it so
them. We
well.
don't
You know,
trust.
when
We don't trust the government. We trust straight, good, honest fucking
yeah,
film writers.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, or other
You
people that
know.
we see on YouTube, Dean.
Yeah.
But I'm not, but yeah, but that's the
But
thing,
I
and you get
will
all your
say,
facts from that.
after looking at God, so much shit, absolutely convinced he was a shooter. But whether he's been involved with the Russian or the Cuban or the mafia, I think a lot of them is very open, especially the Cuban end. And obviously, because what he did with Russia, and I've literally just watched something half an hour before,
Yeah, but
some bullshit. It was all, it was him and nobody else. They're saying he couldn't even speak Russian, but he was fucking fluent
he
in
was
Russian.
fluent in. He had a
Him
Russian
with his
wife
wife,
who
yeah,
made
and
him
he wouldn't
speak
speak
only
English.
Russian. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. But I'm saying half an hour before, I've got some tit on YouTube saying he couldn't even speak Russian. Like, no, he was well into that Russia shit. So it's not a simple case. It, it's a very complex
His own
character in
brother,
some ways.
his own brother, Oswald's own brother, said
Yeah,
it was totally him. It was him. It was nobody else. He says my brother has been like this. He says he wanted to be a cop. He said, believe me. He said if the whole country was Marxist, he'd want to be an American. That's the kind of
yeah,
person that he was. That's the kind of guy. When he came back from Russia, he was expecting all reporters and all that kind of stuff. He actually came back and said,
yeah. It
"What?
was,
No reporters." Like he was
yeah.
like he wanted to be somebody. You know what I mean?
He
And it was
totally
just
wants it. It was kind of an obvious crackpot, really, like going over there. Imagine that, and
when
these
you look at
Russians
him,
aren't
it's true,
fucking
isn't it?
stupid. You've got a crackpot coming over, going, I've got some special details about the U2 bomber. I was in he was in Japan, he wasn't part of the U2 thing, but like they're gonna fucking tell him any of the juicy stuff.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
just going
exactly.
like fill it up, fill U2 bomber up and then get cleaning around back end, you dickhead. You know, he's not involved with the fucking high end of it. And because like I said, these Russians aren't stupid. They fucked
No,
him off basically, didn't they? They give
they
him that
did. But
1 year
they
thing.
said that they said
And
as
he
if
only he tried to commit suicide as well. And
exactly. Yeah, and he wrote a note out as well, didn't he? His big suicide note as well. He
yeah,
tried to kill himself. But also the Russian, he spoke to this bloke and he said, as if we'd send him back. He's been here three
yeah,
years,
yeah.
and then we're going to
And he
send him
wasn't.
back.
And when he went over there, he didn't keep it quiet. He went, I've come over here to tell, fuck you Americans.
Yeah,
I'll come
yeah.
here to, I'm telling everybody about the YouTube bomber, what I know about. So please let me in this end. They're all arseholes. And they're all going like, who is this fucking dick?
Exactly. Who is this dick? You know what I mean? Baz is here. He says, okay, it was me. I shot him with man fat.
It
Go
wouldn't
on,
surprise me,
Baz.
really.
David says, but everyone in government are good, straight, honest people. No, they
No,
are
not
not.
at all. Not at all.
Do you know what I
This is
found
the
out?
trouble with it
Do you
all,
know
isn't
what
it?
was disgusting? Absolutely unbelievable. Right, so it all happened, and then what's he called? Johnson he wanted to be sworn in, didn't he, on the plane? He didn't
Yeah.
want to. He had to be president, right? He wanted
No,
to be
before
president.
he wants to get sworn in before he went in the plane.
Before he wanted the plane, and Jackie Onassis was stood there next to him. He wanted her next to him with all the blood and shit all over her while he's being sworn in. I mean, just how unbelievable is that? The picture of her, she's in the same clothes, and I've read all about it. And they were saying she's got his brains and shit still all over him, and he's there
Oh yeah,
swearing in
yeah.
the next president. It's like what? So no, with the fire fruit, I can't get on with that address. Hold on, Lucy, I'll put it up again. It should work, huh?
Is
I'll
that
put it.
is that a real person? Was Lucy Liu?
I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? Here we go, Lucy
Yeah,
Lou. There you go, Luce.
not Kill Bill shit, is it?
No idea. We'll find out. But yeah, so I mean, nobody. No, we're not saying anybody, government, and all that kind of stuff, Dave. Not at all.
Governments are full of shit. I think everybody fucking panicked. Nobody really thought. I mean, this is one of the things where this shit, even though he is shit and he's a fucking loon, he still fucking pulled it off.
Yeah.
You've got to give him some credit.
Oh yeah.
Whatever version is, he fucking did it. So he was dangerous, and the CIA was following him. So how do they know? Why do they not think, right, we've got a fucking nut job here? JFK is going on this route. Let's just have a little check of a nut jobs. He's a fucking nut job, and he's in a building that works. They haven't put that together, but they are shit. You know what I mean? Everybody's shit at the job.
Yeah, but that's the thing is it was the same thing that happened with. I've been looking into that on another video about this, and he also did something in the 9/11, and he was saying it was the same thing then, where the government was repeatedly warned.
Shit.
No, they were repeatedly warning the government.
Yeah.
Look, someone's coming. Al Qaeda are planning. They're watching. They're checking out the skies of everything on New York. They're going to do something with planes. We're telling you, and they didn't do anything about it. And then bang, they went down. And it's the same thing with this. They had this with the Oswald. They knew he was like, he's a bit of a dick, this bloke. You know what I mean? And because the route was only planned 11 days before. Do you know the route they took?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought about it. I knew it was very.
It was only 11 days before. They said 11 days before, right, that's where we're going to go. And Oswald had been there a month. See, a lot of people, do you know that, what's she called, that woman? The woman that they live with. Is it Rain? Her last name's Rain.
They speak Russian. She's interesting, I really like listening to her interviews.
So what happened, I don't know if everybody knows, is Oswald was on his ass, basically. He was on his ass wearing it, and he was on about trying to send his missus back. And she didn't want to go back. And she knew this school teacher, like a psychologist teacher, weren't she? And
she was a bit of a, not oddball, but she was quirky. She was
but she said what it was. I mean, she could speak Russian because she was something to the Quakers, weren't she? She got into all.
She learned Quakers and
she learned Russian.
You learn languages, yeah.
Yeah, well, she wanted to learn Russian. She said, to be, that's how we cross bridges and all that.
Yeah, because it was in the Cold War, and she thought it'd help.
Yeah, exactly, to do that. So obviously, if you speak Russian, and then they kind of made friends with Oswald, and she's Russian, so that's like, Russian. I can speak Russian to my friend and show off in my Russian life. So then so his wife lived with her, and Oswald was working somewhere, wasn't he? He only came home at the weekends, didn't he? Oswald, he was working away, come home at the weekend to see his wife.
He was on his ass, weren't he?
Yeah, he was on his ass, and then he needed a job, so she got him a job in the books depository. There's somebody found out about a job, and she got him that job there, and it just fell into his lap. It absolutely fell.
Yeah, and I think thought that's where he's gone. Right, this is my chance to.
This is my chance. It's just perfect. Exactly.
He doesn't really care about Kennedy one way or the other. He just wants to be this political hero.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look what people are saying. Sorry, where are we? Lee Harvey Oswald. Dave says spent $20 on a gun. Yeah, Lee Harvey spent $20 on a gun for shooting the president. And the entire rifle was used a carbine, and a carbine is close shooting, not long distance. The 4x14, that's it. It runs out of there. No, but it was only a short distance to a fire, and they've done it, Dave. They've used that gun, and that gun pulled off them shots. They did it all, and that gun is an easy shot with that scope. It was a 4x scope, and they could totally do it, and it was well capable of doing it. It wasn't any good at long distances, but mid to short range, it was a capable gun with a capable shooter with an half decent scope. And they've done it, Dave. They've done that experiment, and they've tried it, and it works. If we call Lucy Ace, when the dust settled from the Twin Towers, a pair of shoes were found exactly the same as Lee Oswald's. More coincidence. Rizzler, I want to be Jackie Onassis. Want to wear a pair of dark sunglasses. Want to be Jackie? Oh dear. Shooter is a good film. Marksman setup type thing. I don't know that one. Evening, Nicole. How you doing? Sorry. Guys, I'm sorry, I had an appointment. No, never apologise, Nicole. Never apologise. So what do you think, Nicole? Do you think Oswald did it, or was he was Kennedy wiped out by various guns, as some people think? But yeah, Dave, the gun was where is it? Did it all? They did an experiment on it. They did all the experiments. Where is it? He says here there was two of them. Where did he say? They did the shot. Where are we? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, there you go. And as long as you look at the physical evidence and come to the conclusion that the President and Connolly were hit by the same bullet, this gives you multiple seconds of time to make the shot between the next shot and the headshot. And in fact, with this mechanism, it's a bolt action rifle. It's a very simple action. It's absolutely possible. So, and we've shot this set of trajectories, if you will, numerous times, and it's doable. It is absolutely something that is realistically possible to come on target, fire one shot. That would be the magic bullet, if you will. Extract it and fire another one again, because obviously the first one he missed. The first shot is normally about 60 yards, 60 to 65 yards, and the second shot, the headshot, would normally be about 90 yards. With a 4-power scope on top of this gun, these are not difficult shots. So. No, well, Dave, that's what they were saying. They did it. Yeah. It was 60 yards, Dave. They were saying. That's Dave. They did the experiment. The first shot is normally 60 yards, 60 to 65 yards, and the second shot, the headshot, would normally be at 90 yards. With a 4-power scope on top of this gun, these are not difficult shots. So, because the first one, they reckon. You know what I mean? That it ricocheted.
That program that we watched, the Stone one, I found the original footing of that test thing. I sent it to you. Was you watch it?
Yeah.
There was nothing like what they said. They said like of all the people, one of them tried 3 times, and eventually he got 2. No, it wasn't. No, he had one go at it, but one of them did do the 2 in 1. So off that they're saying, so it's not possible. Like, what? Well, you fucking sit there, pal, and do that experiment again. Just sit there instead of being a dummy. Let's just see how not possible it is. You fancy doing that? No.
We've got Dean here. Hello, Dean. Welcome, sir.
All right, man. How you doing?
Oh, you've got something on, Dean. Dean, turn YouTube off for you, pal.
What do you want? Turn the light off. YouTube.
Turn your YouTube off. It's just repeating on your YouTube, pal. That's all.
No, it's off.
It's just repeating on your YouTube, that pal.
It's off.
It's just repeating on your YouTube, pal.
Will you fucking sit there?
Dean's just repeating on your YouTube, pal.
You have to close YouTube down, bud.
No, hang on.
Not possible it is.
No, shut.
No.
Is that better?
We've got Dean here.
No, it's.
Evening, no.
All right, man. How you doing?
No, Dean.
I'm sitting here again in front of my mouth because I've got no teeth.
Right, I think we've gone back to last Wednesday.
Dean, you've got YouTube on.
No, I haven't, mate. No.
No YouTube. Turn your YouTube on.
You've got something else on, pal.
Hang on.
It's just repeat on you.
Right,
That's it. That's the one. That's the one, pal. Good evening, Dean. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, was. Nice to meet you, mate.
All right, mate. I think I'm a little bit behind, so I was.
So, Dean, go on. Give us your what you think, Dean.
I can't. I don't know. Fuck all, mate. I just wanted to join the show.
No, you must have an opinion, surely.
Yeah, no, I only know what I've watched. You know what I mean? I've just been sitting there watching it because I was under the impression he got a bullet from the front. I mean, you can clearly see his head's blown out from the back. So, excuse me, sorry.
I have got.
Well, no.
Go on, Steve.
This was the problem, weren't it? When we all thought it was from the back, and the JF film suddenly went.
Wait on,
no,
we've
no,
got
it's
Andy
from
here.
the front.
Sorry, Steve. We've got Andy here as well. Good evening, Andy.
Which was the problem? Evening.
Hey, Andy.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Yeah, okay. How's Dean? You're right, Dean. Steve, okay?
Yeah, so we're saying about the headshot. Go on, Steve.
Are we all in echo here? Because somebody will be getting shot from the back if somebody doesn't turn.
No, it seems all right, that. Yeah, it's all right, that.
It's all right.
Yeah, so we're saying about...
Mine's a bit echoey. You talk, because I'm struggling here.
Right, yeah, so the common thing that everybody saw, we always saw that headshot, didn't we? And how many times did he say it on the J.F.K. film, that back and to the left? You know, the back and to the left. As also he's saying, look, it's come from over there, you know what I mean? But it doesn't work like that. And it hasn't, and it didn't do that. And I've got a video to prove that it didn't do that off the actual Zabruga film.
I've just watched it in slow motion at quarter speed, and I agree. It comes from the back, and
because his head to the back. I'll put this video on just to show everybody else in chat. And this is actually the video. This is from that they actually used, but it was on that trial that me and Steve watched. This is the movement of it.
In addition to the spray of brain matter all to the front, do frames 313 and 314 actually show the president's head being pushed forward slightly by the momentum of the bullet?
Yes, it does.
Can we see those frames now and point that out to the jury?
Again, this is frame 312, and I would ask the jury to note that this is the rear seat, the back of the seat, and of course this is the body, the torso of the president at 312. 313, please. We concluded that there's a definite space opening there between the seat and the president at 313. Moving forward. 314, please. 314, the space is larger.
So he's moving forward at 313 and 314.
Yes. At 315,
starts to go back.
He starts to go back. 316, he goes back a little bit more. 317, and he's almost back to the seat, as you can see there.
Did your panel conclude?
So you see, he actually, and you can't see it when you watch it normally. It's proper one of that, but when you break it down like that, his head goes slightly forward like that, and he goes, and it goes like that, out like that, and then he falls back again. You know, so it's a JFK movie.
You must have had a headache.
I know, but Phil and Jackie, your dress were ruined. Well, of course. What do you reckon, Andy?
I've written down 4 interesting points.
Go on, pal.
I don't have a point of view to, excusing the pun, but something that it's worth sort of discussing.
Yeah.
Number one's the bloke dressed in the Mac and they call him the Umbrella Man. Just one random bloke stood at the side.
What's the case with the Umbrella Man? What's the case of that?
It was a nice day, you know, everybody's dressed, you know, as they can be for the day, and there's a bloke stood with a black umbrella, black overalls on.
Dean, have you only just come on for me to fuck you off? Fuck off, Dean, you fucking idiot. No, talking Dean. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, Andy, go on. Steve's rudely interrupted there. Stop interrupting the guest, you prick. Sorry, go on, Andy.
No, it's all right. And they dragged him into court, I think, about like some years later, this Umbrella Man. And even before it opened, they had someone in court open the umbrella. They were all laughing. You better watch where you might point that. Might shoot somebody, sort of thing, like, you know. But it turns out that, which is a bit weird, it was a one-man protest, no placards. You didn't know what was protesting. I've seen that one, yeah. Yeah. And he was on his own. And what actually seemingly happened was one of the Kennedys had a position in World War II. and Neville Chamberlain, our Prime Minister, who made a bit of a flop and whatever with Hitler and all that, saying I've got
That's
this,
right.
always had a black umbrella with him. And I thought, how do you relate that?
Because he's
How do you
mental, isn't
relate?
he?
How did this bloody assassination, some bloke making a protest, stood by the car going past with a black umbrella? And I saw it very peculiar.
Yeah, mental.
That, but,
Andy, mental. That's what the word you're looking for, pal.
yeah. And the second thing I had written down was the video showing the crowd running towards the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
There's quite a number of people that
Wait,
were...
sorry guys, I'm going to try and turn it off and come back on because I can't hear anything what's being said. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah, and go on, Dave. Andy, sorry.
No worries. No, I've been doing a bit of a catch-up because if you've known, I've been posting on YouTube recently and I'm like, I'm interested in this. And I thought I better watch a couple of YouTube J.F.K conspiracies and all that, but I'm not much of a conspiracy guy, but I go with more factual information, which usually does help. It does accommodate a good conspiracy theory most of the time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you see, there's a crowd running towards this grassy knoll. It's like
or are they running away from the gunshot?
The gunshot would have been from the other side, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the road came down, didn't it? So the building was here.
Right. Yeah, the grassy knoll would have been on the right-hand side.
Yeah,
but they're
and
running towards the grassy knoll. So basically, they'd be running across where Kennedy's just been hit.
Yeah, but wasn't say like I can't show you. So like let me try and do it there. That's the gun depository, and then the road came down there like that, and wasn't the grassy knoll over that way? So I worked on a point on this.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get a map up. I'll see if I can get a map up just to make it. Where are we? Map of Ely Plaza. Okay. Didn't get that on. There you go. There we go. Is that a good picture? Fuel depository. Where did it say grassy? Did it say grassy knoll on that one? Why didn't it say grassy knoll on there? One of the most important things that everybody goes on about, and they put a picture on that doesn't show the bloody grassy knoll. Come on, you. But Ely Plaza. There you go. All right. Well, yeah. Let's have a look. Let's download that one. Right, pal. Yeah, but well, there's a lot of things as well, though, isn't there? With that as well. Well, the echoes, wasn't there, from where guns, the shots can appear. You know where they appear to come from, because also when you're firing it, where the layout is, isn't there? I mean, I think the acoustics were not so good, were they?
It's funny that the first two shots were seemingly, if you watch any sort of footage, Zabrude or whatever, if you watch them, there's no reaction really from anybody apart from the wife in the car.
Well, they say that Connolly, I watched that, and because there's a really good video to watch, Andy. It's the trial of what's it called, Lee Harvey Oswald. And like I said, they did it in 1986, and they got all the witnesses and everybody in, and they did a proper court case. Everybody was sworn in. You know, obviously it wasn't legal, but they did all that, and they got everybody in. And where are we? Sorry, pal. Oh yeah. So let's have a look. There you go. So the Texas School Depository is up there. Kennedy was in the lead car, wasn't he? D. Was it D? Was he in the lead car? I think he was, wasn't he? And then the grassy knoll's there. So if you see where he got shot, they're going to be running away from the gunfire, aren't they? Can you see what I mean? It was right where it says A. I don't know. Can you see? And the Texas School Book Depository, right at the top right, it says A. That's where he shot from. And there's the car, D, and then grassy knoll. So if you're going to run to the grassy knoll, you're running away from the gunfire, aren't you?
Good point.
You know what I mean?
He's done his own work. He's done his own work.
I'm not definitive. I like opening the floor up.
No, Andy, this is great. This is what I've never thought about that before. You know what I mean? It was just thinking about. I've watched so much of it. I'm never going to watch anything to do with.
It's a bloody good shot though, and that third one was a reek killer, wasn't it? First couple was a bit like boom, but the further it got along, I mean.
Well, it hit the bone, didn't it? That was the thing. The bullets.
But you would appropriate that to a bloody professional, really, not some.
Well, he was a marksman. When he went into the army, when he first went into the Marines, he was a 2.12 shot. He was a bang-on shot. And then later on, he didn't want to be in the army because he was a Marxist and a communist, and he hated America. He absolutely hated America. And he just wanted now to do it, so he couldn't be asked. He wanted to get out, so he just couldn't be asked shooting properly anymore. But he has the qualifications as marksman. But what it was, that shot that hit him in the head, because the first one went through, didn't hit any bone or anything, just flesh. So it went through. That's why he didn't look like, when he's holding his throat like that, and that went through him and then went through Connolly in front. But the second one, when it hit the back of his head, and then the bullet inside fragmented like that, went like that, and that's what blew out all the front of his head. But yeah, what else you got, Andy? You said you have 4.
The Jack Ruby thing's interesting because he was he had a club and all that, didn't he? And
that's right, yeah.
Very strange. He made a very strange comment on the fact that he was saving Mrs. Kennedy from whatever emotions, and it was a bit of a weird comment, that. And I thought,
well, he was a weirdo.
Quite a bit to lose and had a lot of respect and stuff like that. But even then, I watched something today, and it turned out that he was well connected with the police anyway, and he could pretty much.
Well, the strippers used to go to his club. The police used to go to his club.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really interesting when you're writing stuff down, but then again, you found out different.
Yeah, well, that's how he got in there, because he used to get access to everywhere. Jack Ruby was all over the show all the time, and he was another one that wanted to be somebody. He really wanted to be a big shot, did Jack Ruby. And he had all the police that were always coming to strippers. So obviously he looked after all the coppers. So when they come out and they marched Oswald out, they let him in. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, he's one of the lads, like, and everything. And next thing...
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right, I know. I've just realised I know exactly what's happened. He had a shit computer. He was having a fucking bad day, and he had a gun at the side of him, and he thought, right, who can I fucking shoot? He's got a gun. He's going to find the nearest president, J.F.K. He's going, fuck yeah!
Sorry,
it's just all rebooted, but it's come back and it's still iffy.
Steers fucked himself off. Yeah. But he was a queer bloke, and he did want to be somebody, Jack Ruby, and he wasn't anybody, but they try and link him with old mafia and all that.
Another loser.
Yeah, he was another loser, another somebody who wants to be somebody, and then he got all emotional, and because he kept going on about the kids, didn't he? All them poor kids, like, and everything, and somebody used to shoot that guy and everything, and then he did it, So.
Yeah, and my final point is the photograph on Air Force One of Lyndon Johnson next to a bereaving and upset Mrs. Kennedy.
With all his brains all over it.
Yeah, it was only a matter of hours.
Yeah.
After that, I don't know why he needed her there, because he was already vice president. I don't know how American legalities in that respect will work, but...
He didn't want to take... Well, he was frightened to death. He was worried to death that it was something to do with the Russians and all that, was Lyndon Johnson. And he didn't know whether, the country was, they were trying to bump all the officials off because he was worried about the Cubans and everything and all that. Because the CIA were trying to bump off Castro, weren't they?
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not going into the air until I'm president. Now,
please,
he forced...
Somebody do me! Somebody finish me off!
He forced Jackie. He met Jackie. He said, look, you've got to be stood there while I'm sworn in. And he did say, look, why don't you change out your clothes? And then she said, no, I want to see what they've done to it. I want everybody to see what they've done to him. So it was her choice to stay in them clothes, but he was still cold as fuck. You know what I mean?
She looked like she was still in shock to me.
No, she was.
She looks absolutely out there.
Yeah, she would be, wouldn't she? I mean, imagine that. Your husband's just had his head blown off just a couple of hours before.
Exactly, yeah, but yeah.
No, she's still alive. Leah Harvey Oswald's wife.
Where is she? I was going to look into that. Where is she now?
She's in America.
She's still in America, is she?
Going off Wikipedia. Fuck off, you lot.
Oh.
Going off Wikipedia. I said, I'm in a bad mood. Don't fucking push me. Going off Wikipedia. Now she thinks he didn't do it. She always kind of said, yeah, he did it. But
No, she's not reliable.
Up into Wikipedia. She says now.
No, but she said that and they said right because she kept changing her mind.
Yeah, she's full
she
of
was
shit.
just worried about being fucked off out of country. She didn't want to go back to Russia.
Yeah.
And she'd say anything that they wanted her to say. And then they just said, we can't believe anything that she's saying. She's contradicting herself with everything because she said, oh, he did all this and all that. And then she just kept changing her mind all the time. She was just pleasing then because she wanted to stay in America. So they just said she's completely unreliable. We can't just say.
And also a big thing as well when he took a shot at the other politician or Rex, whatever he was, I can't remember his name. I didn't write it down.
Yeah, Edward, Ed somebody,
Warden or something like that.
Yeah, but that wasn't proven that it wasn't him. It was a completely different bullet to that gun. It was a completely different bullet to the gun that he had. They'd never really.
I don't know. I didn't know it was proven it wasn't him. Everything when I looked into it looked like it was him because he wrote a full letter to her, like a goodbye letter on that day when it happened.
Yeah, but she
you
said
read that letter?
Has anybody said? Because she said she was the one that told him that he tried to shoot him, and that was but then they looked at the bullet. Somebody did try to shoot him, but the bullet didn't match his gun.
I was going to agree with Carlos here.
Put yourself up against Steve. Martin says, "Who cares?" Though I guess it all started then. Well, yeah, that's when they say that's
Martin,
America.
Please come on for a split second so I can do this to you. Fuck!
What are you doing? Is that me?
Are you taking the piss? It's all gone again.
Yeah, everything's gone. Well, what's going on there? We've just lost Andy. Andy, did you? You didn't fuck Andy off, did you?
I didn't fuck Andy off. No, I don't think so.
All right. All right. Sorry, Andy. Andy, come back on if you can, or did you make yourself go there? What's going on with your signal? Yeah, but because there was and the other thing as well. So the other thing with obviously with Oswald. So Oswald, right? He's been in the as Oswald done it. Then it just so happens that he shoots a copper just round the corner. Do you know what I mean? Out of like all the people in Austin, Texas, he happens to be the one that shot this copper, and witnesses say he shot him, like, and everything. So, sorry, lads, the internet went down. Right. Yeah, something's going on.
Right, it's not just me then. Maybe it's the world. Maybe we've been wiped out by the Russians. That's
CIA.
The good
It's cover
next
up.
week
It's a cover up.
Wiped out by the Russians.
Dean's back.
All right, Dean.
Sorry, Dean, we thought you'd... something's gone because Andy went as well. Come back on, Andy, if you want, pal.
Yeah, no, the internet went down for some reason.
It's not you,
I
Andy.
can finally hear you. Where are you from, Dean? Sorry if you said all this. I'm repeating myself.
I'm
Sorry
from Folkestone, but I'm in Spain.
Spain? Whereabouts in Spain?
Down by the River Ebro. In North Spain.
North Spain.
Northern Spain, all right.
What's he put here?
Dean, you're dodgy.
Yeah, I used to
We're
be.
going really well if you are.
Yeah, I used to be.
Yeah, it says, was it?
Shut
I'm
up.
sure he means coincidence.
Shut up.
Was it coincidence,
Yeah,
Kenny?
all that shit. Shut up.
I'm a straight as a die now. I'm a good boy now.
Was it coincidence Kenny wouldn't go to war with Vietnam and some numpty shot him? Johnson went to war anyway, and a lot of people made a lot of money out of war. Andy's back. How do, pal? Sorry, Andy. Everything fucked up all that show. We don't know what happened. That's a very good JFK. A JFK approach, that the movie there, Oliver Stone. That's an Oliver Stone way of thinking there, Dave.
I can hear everything now. We're all back in. Nice to meet everybody. I really couldn't anything for you before.
Did you not hear it at all?
It was all anyway. Blah blah blah. It's right now.
Yeah, it's all better now. The world needs such cheerful men. Good looking panel tonight. Oh, well, yeah, we'll try. You know what I mean?
Good evening, Dirty Del Boy. You call Bradley, not Dirty Del Boy, by the way, Bradley.
I know, yeah. Why does he have to call himself Dirty Del Boy? He's a dirty boy, isn't he? So, yeah. So, I mean, so to me, but the thing that is the CIA are such dodgy bastards, aren't they? They really, because they kept trying to kill Castro, didn't they?
Well, we know they're fucking dodgy, don't they? So
I know.
I'm not completely out there that they were involved in somehow, or like letting him go, or
no.
I'm definitely not in the. He totally did it by himself. Absolutely convinced he did it.
Yeah.
Did he get some help, or was he kind of ignored to go and have a shot? You probably will miss, but
with doors open.
Have a bit of a shot, pal.
Yeah.
It might have been a shock in them days for the CIA to be involved, but nowadays they're into everything, aren't they? You know what I mean?
I wonder.
There's no arguing.
I wonder if the CIA were too big back then. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if they were like, because when did the CIA start? Does anybody know when the CIA started? Because I wonder if they were too big and they were too, because like there were things going on. Do you know when they brought Kennedy's body into the hospital at Dallas? Now, you're not allowed to move the body until it's had an autopsy there. So there's no corruption or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, CIA boys came in and said, right, we're taking the president's body back to Washington on a plane. And the surgeon says, you're not taking him anywhere. It's totally illegal.
Yeah, but whether you call it CIA or this or that, all this underhanded shit has always gone on. Whether it's whatever name it is, there's always been the number one, and then the assholes at the back, kind of the ones that kind of doing a lot of the dirty work. Always, history's been like that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they're you say I'm taking, you can't do it, it's against the law. And at the end, they showed him a gun, didn't they? They showed him a gun and said, look, we're taking the president and all that kind of stuff. And it's just because I think a lot of the conspiracy was covering up the CIA and that and the FBI cock-ups. I think that's where a lot of the conspiracy is. I think they fucked everything up all over the show in what they did after the president was shot. And that's where a lot of the cover-up comes from, I think.
Yeah, but why not?
Right, I can't hear it again. I'm going to stick that pencil in my head because I can't hear it again. It's absolutely doing me fucking head in.
Did you see that? Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
That didn't really happen. I swapped it with a smaller one, by the way. I'm trying to get my frustration out.
Sorry, Dean, go on.
Why are they keeping it a secret for so long? Why is it they still won't release the papers now?
They have released. See, what I don't get as well, Dean, is they've released thousands of papers. Not all of them, but they've released thousands of papers, and some of them is quite damning. And it's
look how stupid that sounds like. After 50 years, they're suddenly going to let the papers out that give the truth. No, they're going to hide them. As if they can't get hold of the truth paper after 50 years.
Yeah,
they're never going to let it go.
No, I mean, if it was just a fuck up, if it was just they just fucked up, the people would be dead. They would have released it by now. There's got to be more.
But why would you keep any papers? Yeah.
That's what I mean. No, why keep it a secret?
Yeah. No, but they were going to keep because what's he called? That copper, Steve, on that trial when he got told the FBI guy. What's he called?
Yeah.
And he burned a letter. He had a letter from.
But no, the CIA had to tell the truth. Of course. Then he realised, right, after all that shit, he went, of course they don't tell the truth. Like, almost like naive that, like I say, after 50 years, there's a secret hidden place where all the truth is. Oh no, we're going to have to let the truth out after 50 years. They just hide the fucking truth, don't they?
Yeah, but he burned that letter. He had that letter from Oswald, didn't he? And then he's governor in the FBI. He had this letter from Oswald. And he said to him, I'd get rid of that letter. I don't ever want to see that letter again. So he had to destroy this letter. And the reason why he destroyed it was because then J. Edgar Hoover was president. And he said he didn't want him to find out. Obviously, there'd been some kind of big cock-up or whatever. And they were all worried that he'd go off his rocker. And that's why they destroyed it. Do you know what I mean? A lot of it's all because people worry about the jobs and the careers and shit like that. They've made massive bowls up, so they start covering shit up, and making stuff up. which is, I mean, the idea of the originally on the Warren Commission, they said that 3 bullets had hit the car, so that one hit Kennedy first in the back, the second one hit Connolly in front, and then the third bullet hit his head. But then after the video, that's when they sussed. Hang on, that's the same bullet. You know what I mean? So I mean, everything's changing all the time.
After the kind of a botch up, it really set a lot of the conspiracies going, because a lot of it didn't make sense. They started the magic bullet thing like, what do you mean magic fucking bullet? No, well, what it is, it go, hey, that doesn't make sense, and then literally them botching it all up has started everything.
Yeah, it's absolutely started everything, and people still believe that this bullet started zigzagging all over the show after it came out of Kennedy. And then it's been proved. It's been proved for such a long time ago that it didn't. They were all in line because of the way the seats were. People think the seats were normal or like that. They weren't. They had 2 jump seats. They were lower down and closer together. And then when you line them up from the shot, it's a straight line that goes right through them. So there is no magic bullet. But they still have that cock on the Oliver Stone documentary that's brand spanking new, who's still giving it. How can that one bullet do 7 wounds, make 7 wounds? And it's like, he's counting, right? His idea of 7 wounds is the one that goes in the back and comes out the front. So that's 1 and 2. No, but that's the same one. It's not like it went, they make it sound like it went around doing 7 wounds. That's, goes through back, comes out. So that's 1, 2, right? Then goes through his back, Connolly's back, 3, comes out his chest, 4, hits his wrist, 5, and then goes into his knee, 6. But it's all one just going through. But these pricks on this olive, which is brand spanking new, is still fueling the old myths that have been debunked ages ago. You know, it's just, that's what just does me head in. And with documents, so-called but Oliver Stone, that's the thing. Everybody respects Oliver Stone, and this, you know, he's a big man, and they all believe it. But it's bollocks. It's his opinion. He's a famous producer, and he.
What do you know about Martina Lorenzi?
Who's that?
She was a woman that.
Well, she's a human woman.
She's been interviewed by both sides, and both sides agreed that what she said was true, but they thought she might have been mistaken. She named Lee Harvey Oswald. It was a slightly different name, but with 2 Cuban guys, and they came over with sort this assassination out. That's quite interesting side. But the more I looked into it, it basically got to, and then in her book, we're like, oh right, she's got a fucking book out.
She's got a book out, yeah.
Yeah, it was really like, wow, this is interesting. I don't really know about this bit.
Yeah.
Got into it because she was shagging what's it called? Fidel Castro. What am I trying to say?
Fidel Castro.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Fido Castro.
That was the internet going, by the way. No, that wasn't me saying it wrong. It was the internet going in and out. It's what I'm hearing, basically. Speaking what I'm hearing.
Dave says, Rizla says, Rizla, controversial. I don't respect a drunken and sex attacker, Oliver Stone. Oh. How does he attack sex?
Say what? I heard sex and attacking. I like that bit. What would it?
Rizla says, I don't respect a drunk and a sex attacker, Oliver Stone. How do you attack sex? That must be hard work, attacking sex.
And why would you change my name to Oliver Stone?
Sex.
I mean,
Dave says, what do you think of the theory when the shooting started? A close protection bodyguard in the car behind lifted an M16 up and accidentally shot the president in the back of his head to kill shot. Yeah, we run about that earlier on, Dave.
We watched the full hours, really expensive documentary about that utter bollocks. It's ridiculous, that one.
But, like we said, if you look at the documentary, how well made is the documentary?
It's believable.
Yes, that's the
thing.
The
way this goes is very believable, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Have you heard that one, Andy and Dean? About the one with the security guard. So, the idea is, right, And the guy says, right, they get this bloody bloke in, the Australian guy, and he's saying how good he was, this detective, right? And he's done this, and he's such a good detective. And he comes in, I always go off the witnesses. What? When do you ever go off witnesses? Everybody, it's a well-known fact that witnesses are so unreliable. They've even done experiments to prove how shite witnesses are from what they see. So that's how he starts off, right, with his fucking documentary. And it's got all the big production and all this. And it comes down at the end. The first one that hit him was a ricochet or something, and bits of bullet him. He go, oh! The second one went through him, did it, Steve? Is that the one? And then the third one, it was the security.
This is how stupid it is. They've already disproved that it can't be shot. Nobody can make that shot. It can't be made that shot.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's move on to the next bit. So at the end they go, right, so this is what happened. The first shot, because Kennedy said, what's that noise? So he heard a shot, but something hit him. It's ricocheted off the concrete, hit him somewhere, and then he's gone. So he's accidentally been shot by the ricochet. Then he's been shot by the real shooter, who can't shoot. So he's been shot by the person that can't shoot. Then the car at the back, one of the CIA has gone, what's that noise? As he's unlocked his gun and he's accidentally shot the fucking president.
So the car went to wasn't the car went to
nobody around him gone, what you did? What have you done? You've just shot, they've all just gone right straight away. He's accidentally shot the president. Let's just drive off and make the bullshit up story up after. We're all fine with that. Oh, just drive.
Yeah, he's in the car behind because there's a picture of a security guard behind with an M16 rifle.
We're not raving after that.
Yeah, and it shows it. So I think did he say something like he went over a bump or something fucking daft like that? And he's gone, and it's a shotgun off, and that's the one that blew Kennedy's head off. And they're all like, oh, I've really fucked up. Oh, I've really fucked up. Hey, don't, lads, don't send it. I'll get beers in today, lads. I'll get beers.
When they made that program, somebody at the end must have gone, it's not a good sell, this, is it? And they've gone, well, it's too late now. We've done all the fucking filming. We've just got to fucking do it.
Yeah, but the money they were spent on it were all like computer programs and dramatic music, the old documentaries, even the Oliver Stone one. Oh my God, just dramatic music, dun dun dun, building the tension, and it's like, hang on, it's supposed to be a fucking But to be fair, all the documentaries do that, don't they? They all have the dramatic music and build it all up and everything. It's like the facts.
I mean, as we're on the other side, this all could be a big sell. Couldn't it? What? Because we could be on the big sell for the, because we work for the other side.
Of course. Oh yeah. What is it? Fifi and that other one, isn't it? What's he called? Yeah, they think we're shills. We work for the government. What channel was this documentary on?
Me or you?
Racist Pete, in other words.
Oh, what does Racist Pete think we're shills?
No, it is. Racist Peter is them other two people. Oh. Anyway, it doesn't matter about that. Billy Shears. Billy Shears, the bass player, isn't he, for Mr. Big?
No, Billy Shears, the actor after all these years. Isn't it? Yeah,
Billy Shears.
I'm
the one who wants to be with you. No.
Huh?
No,
it's Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The one and only Billy Shears. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
They're fucking with you.
He gets like that, Steve, now. Have you not had a drink for a bit, Carl?
It's Billy Sheehan. Billy Sheehan, Mr. Big.
Mr. Big. You big fucking puff. Anyway.
What's going on?
Carlos, you can find it on YouTube, the documentary. Oh, no, unless it's the very new one. I don't know, but I was got it on linky thing.
What, the Oliver Stone? Oh, no, yeah. It's on HBO.
The best one to look at is the 1986 full trial. It's a fake mock trial. It's really good. You've got two sides of it.
Yeah.
And the prosecution, as much as he's wrong, he's very good, isn't he? I like that prosecutor.
Oh, they're
Great
both
smarmy
funny.
twat, innit?
Yeah,
They're
well,
both good.
they're both good because the other one really tells a story. He likes to tell a story to the guy, doesn't he? He likes to pull on
Yes.
the old heartstring. When he
Yeah.
gets the big photograph of when he's talking about, because he
Yeah,
sets
yeah.
he
You know
sets
what, this
that woman
guy?
up.
This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He
good.
sets her up, doesn't he? Because I watched. Right, so there's this bit. Right, there's the woman that took in Brie Harvey Oswald's wife, and then she let him come and see her at the weekends, and then he was asking about her and all this kind of stuff, and saying what kind of a guy he was. So she was saying like, well, I thought he meant this. He says, no, you can't do that. So she says, well, can I say how he spoke? So she was saying a bad light about him, and then he starts going into it as the defense, and he's saying, so why did you speak Russian? Why would you speak Russian like, and all back in, when everybody hates a commie in America like and all that lot. And she's like, well, I was with these Quakers, and it's like I learned a language to help. We were in a Cold War and to form bonds and all that lot. And he was going down the way because he was trying to put it that she got him the job. Like she was like almost like CIA, weren't he? He were pushing it like you're a bit CIA, aren't you?
Yeah, he says, you work for the CIA. Stop laughing.
He said, wasn't so it was an amazing coincidence then. I know, but this is what he was saying. He said it was an amazing coincidence then that you were the person who took Oswald in. You were the person who got him the job at the book depository store. You speak Russian and all this lot. And she's like, hang on a minute. All them because I know him.
Yeah. And you find it funny that something like that, and she's like, no. But she was very good at going, wait a minute, you're fucking bullshitting. I know. They were quite on the ball, she was, really.
Yeah, well, that's when.
Imagine that pressure, what they promised to her.
Oh, yeah, but then.
It's another example of how it's not about the truth, it's about who can sell the story better of a version of a thing that happened.
And
it's
also
not the same as
and also how you can make somebody who's telling the truth to look a liar because you get them all flustered. You know what I mean? You can be telling the truth, and then somebody who's really on it can turn your words around and start making you look a right cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and then you start going, hang on, this isn't right, like, and all of a sudden you start flapping. They go, oh, look at him, flapping all over it, sure, well guilty. No, I'm just like shitting it now because I don't know where he's taking it down here. And then when he realised that he wasn't going to get anywhere, we're trying to say she was CIA and all that, he went, yeah. So you didn't like that I said about you, did you? Well, maybe. How do you think Lee would have felt when you said about, and that's when you get the picture, how do you think Lee would have felt about what you said about him? He's fucking dead. Dave says here, why was the magic bullet in perfect condition? Go on back, Dean. It wasn't in perfect condition.
You have to rewatch that what, Dave?
Dave, you have to watch it. It wasn't in perfect condition, Dave. The bullet...
Dave, that was always my problem. I always thought, well, they've obviously swapped the bullet at some point, so why would they do that? But then again, when you look, they didn't... It's the bullet, and it's like a fingerprint, the bullet. That bullet is from that gun, and it's not as pristine as you think. No. And also, it's glanced off bones. It's not flattered a bone and smashed.
It's
gone through flesh.
It's gone through soft tissue.
Flesh.
But then, yeah, because it's gone through back there. It's gone through just flesh there, and then when it went through the governor, it just glanced the rib. But as it came out, Dave, it started to tumble. The bullet destabilized and started to tumble. So it didn't smash through like that. It went through like that, and it glanced the rib, come out of his and chest,
also
small bone there, and then it didn't smash through any big bone in his wrist. It hit the little bone in his wrist, and then ended up part way in his leg.
What bothers me as well, having like a mad week on this, these are things that have been here for years and years and years. They don't come out because the truth is boring. And it's back to the truth is boring.
Yeah,
exactly. I think even in the 70s they knew these things. In the film that I watched, the film 1977, the magic bullet was explained then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People don't pick up on that.
That story doesn't sell.
Yeah. It's people pick up. See, people won't believe. It's like 9/11. People won't believe that No, but they won't believe that such a fantastic thing can be done by something so simple. You know, that the
Who's
president...
laughing, Dave?
I know.
No.
Why?
No. You're
Come
wrong.
on, Dave.
There's no way. You can't get 3 buildings
Dean, sorry.
right on their space. It just don't happen. The chances of that are millions to 1. Millions and
What?
millions.
Why?
Building 7 just collapsed on its own. Boom. Didn't fall
No,
either
why
way.
did it-
Boom. Oh, nice. The same as the other 2. No way.
Well, why wouldn't it?
Oh
Why
my
would
God,
it?
we're going to do 9/11 soon, aren't we? Now it's coming. I can
It's
fucking
coming.
feel
Come
it.
on, bring it
Another
on.
week
Bring it on.
obsessed about 9/11 Building 7 and fucking free fall.
Dean, why wouldn't it come down like that?
Because when has it ever done that? Show me anything like where that's happened before. You've had a fire.
I bet I can. If I went on, I could find you loads of buildings. I mean, let's do the physics of it, right? So the plane hit, far away down, yeah? Went straight through it. All that floor, the structure was fucked, yeah? And it was all burning, and it finally went, and they couldn't take the strain anymore, and the top went like that, because everything gave way, right? So all that weight has come down like that, yeah? It's come straight down like that. So all that weight is going then.
What weight?
How many floors were above it?
The same amount of floors that was above it forever. The weight's always been there.
No, but the plane hadn't fucking hit it.
Yeah, so it's held the weight up. It's got no more weight on it, has it?
No, the floor, all the steel's fucked. All the steel. Do you know when the plane hit it? It was full of fuel because it had just taken off. And when out that, I mean, you know how heavy planes are? You're talking hundreds of fucking tons. And it went in going about fucking 300, 400 miles an hour. Went bang right through that floor. That
right,
floor
let's get back to JFK. We'll do it
Oh, you got Nicole off now. 9/11 was an inside job now.
But this is the Building 7 point. When people can't answer a certain question, they go on to a Building 7 point. So you haven't answered the JFK one. You've gone on to the 9/11. Let's stay on to 9/11.
No. It was me. No, it was me that went on. It was me that went on to 9/11 because I was saying about how people can't accept when such a massive event, something so spectacular, can be caused by either one man or just a few men. See, because it just never. It can't. Like Steve was saying, you know, they kept doing this, but he did it. And the thing is, he did it because nobody else had, and he just bang, bang, bang. Shot the president. Some people got into planes and never been done before. Never even thought of. People used to hijack planes, but never before had somebody hijacked a plane and then flown it into a building. I mean, getting a plane in America is like catching a bus. You don't get checked. You don't get anything at all. You know what I mean? It's so easy to do. It's just having the balls to do it, or be mental. You know, mental enough to do it.
Right? Can we go back onto JFK?
No, but that's what I'm saying, Steve. We're getting back to my point. Is why there's big conspiracy. It's because
Another day.
Yeah. No, but people won't accept. It's the same with JFK. They can't accept the fact that one man could do that on his own. When he can. Of course you can, pal. Yeah.
Cheers, mate. I've been sitting back for a while there. Do you not think, playing, well, not devil's advocate as such, but common sense, that in America, Lincoln was shot dead in 1865.
Yep.
James Garfield was shot dead in 1881. William McKinley was shot dead in 1901. And then John F. Kennedy shot in 1963. Why are they not learning? Why is there not something there? I mean, Kennedy's passage and stuff lacked so much security, it was crazy. But yet, he's the top honcho of a country that have a reputation for killing the presidents.
Yeah. But it's America. It's a country, though, that totally believes in freedom because they actually said that to Kennedy. They said, do you think it's a good idea? He said, do you think it's a good idea, President, you know, like being in an open top? He said, no, I want to be with public. I want to be, because he had to win over Dallas, didn't he? Yeah, he had to win over Dallas, didn't he? I think he was doing something. He really wanted to win over Dallas.
They were never happy about him being like that.
Yeah, they were never. It was his decision. He said, "No, I want to be with the public." Like, and they were like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
And they probably all had that same conversation, Andy.
People get assassinated, not just presidents, kings, queens. It's whoever's at the top. You're in sight of fucking trouble.
Yeah.
Whatever
Well,
the version of trouble is, from left, whatever. If you're at the top, somebody's going to take you off the top.
Yeah. Well, in America especially.
Well, everywhere. I mean, how many kings? I mean, look at Julius Caesar of the Ides of March and all that. He was bumped off. And they get bumped off by their own governments as well. Do you know what I mean? There's a massive history of that. See, that's the thing, though, isn't it? There's a massive history of that as well, isn't it? Where their own governments and there've been, coups and all this stuff where they took their own leaders out as well. So, I mean, it's not like it's unprecedented.
Look at all Roman history, Greek, the Egyptians. Everyone, if you're at the top, you watch your back.
Exactly. Yeah. Beware the Ides of March. Yeah. Have you got anything else, Andy? You were saying there? Have you?
No, not.
No, straight. Oh, yeah. You were sat back quite there.
I think just in that, like, everybody, like, in history never looks at him as the guy who wanted to really, really change things. He was anti-corruption. He was anti-this. He was anti-that, and they knew that as well. And I can't quote the documentary that I watched about, years ago. And again, I'm a bit musty, but for this show, I've decided to watch a bit of Kennedy today. But there was one program I watched some years ago that mentioned current politicians who it was the father or the grandfather who was sort of involved in and around the Kennedy thing as well. And I seem to remember, is it Ted Cruz having relations and...
there's a lot of...
There's an actress, Woody Harrelson. Harrelson's dad or granddad or someone was in there around it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
Nepotism's rife, isn't it?
A humane form, and you want a perfect answer for it. But I think if there's any country in this world that are good at bullshit, I think it's America.
We're not so bad ourselves at the moment, though, are we? Jesus Christ. Yeah. No, it's true. It's that, but that's the thing, isn't it? Though, because I mean, see, the people at the top are only people at the end of the day. Do you know how we all have that? Everybody has a bit of a fiddle, something going on, something big deal is going on. Well, we all know somebody who's gone a bit of that and all that lot. Well, imagine at the top where it's all big money and all that kind of stuff. And then dirty deeds are done. Dirty deeds are done. He's a fucking idiot, isn't he? So corruption...
You said fiddle, can help it.
I know. You said, so corruption, it happens at the bottom and it goes all the way to the top. And it's obviously bigger states at the top, isn't it? And bigger money and bigger penalties, I don't know, this old Rizza's on. Oh, my God. Rizza's proper on one here. What about the plane there at the Pentagon? Hitting the finance building the day before a debt. Oh, God, we're on it here. Ironically, come on, Rizza, so we can fuck you off. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, fuck off, Rizza.
Oh, he's going to be all over that one.
Building 7. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Gun control is non-existent in the States. Even political positions are decided by violence in the States.
I'd be a shooter. I would definitely be a shooter if I could get hold of a gun.
Why? You'd shoot yourself in the fucking face, you.
Probably, yeah. But no, don't let me have a gun.
Andy James says there, Ted Cruz's father gets named in the conspiracy. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, there's a couple of others as well that are incredibly close. Like I think Cheney had a relation as well. And there's a couple again. I'm going back.
There is though. I mean, that's the thing. They're all because there's that Bilderberg group, which is true. I don't
talk about a wide web of here, there, and everywhere with the I think it's at KFC. So it really is where you go down the rabbit hole. That's a classic example of something relatively simple, somebody just getting shot, how it can go fucking all over the place. All these different, the Cubans, the Mexicans, the mafia, the CIA, the Russians, it goes all over.
But the thing is, though, is that I bet a lot of them used all these people to get to the top. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I guarantee, because when you're trying to get to the top, I mean, that's the problem with people who get in power, isn't it? And all that lot. They so want to be in power. Like Johnson was a frigging nightmare. Do you know what he did for, like being sworn in while Jackie Onassis was still had, her husband's fucking brains all over and all that lot. And it's just, the power that's needed. Because he forced that Warren into him who did the Earl Warren who did the Warren Commission. He didn't want to do it. He said because he said, look, because he was worried. That's right. Johnson was worried that it'd get put onto Russia because he didn't want it. He was desperately saying, I want fucking nothing to do with Russia. Because, you know, because he didn't want a war kicking off. And he said to Earl Warren, I want this cleared up. I want you to do it. And he says, I don't want to do it. He says, because I'm actually close friends of Kennedy. And I'm also really busy because I'm the fucking or Secretary General, was he? Whatever it was. And he said, I don't want to do it. And then he forced him to Johnson. And he said, look, if you don't do it, we might go into the bloody Third World War here and 14 billion people could die and it'd be all your fault. That's exactly what he said.
With that exact accent.
God damn it.
Dave's got a point here. Was we read that Dave's thing I've just highlighted?
Why did Lee say he was innocent and also said, I don't know why I'm here, I want to see a lawyer? If he was a fanatic, he'd be proud of what he'd done. So what about all the suicide bombers that get
right, no, wait. Yeah, I've got a good point here.
Dave, I've said that myself.
You know what's it called? He said it was it begins with P.
Penis.
That's the word I'm after.
Prick. Pointy thing.
No,
Who?
I'm a
Patsy.
Come on.
Patsy.
A patsy, yeah. Right. That's a word. Nobody says patsy. Nobody knows what a patsy is. And if you thought about that before and they've looked into it and go, right, this is my excuse, I'm going to be a patsy. Like you suddenly know what a patsy is. Do you know what I mean?
No,
do you get the point of him saying it?
I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why you've nicked me. I don't know why am I here. I've pulled that one myself.
Yeah, well, back in 1963, was patsy a common word? I never heard anyone say patsy.
Yeah, I think it's more of an American word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, possibly.
It's just put pasty. I'm a pasty. I'm a pasty.
Well, but when I heard him saying that, thinking, why is he saying a patsy?
No, I think.
And also, 100%, trust me, I've been in bad places where everybody was fucking guilty, and 99% of them said, no. What bag? That's not my bag.
Well, it's like all these Al Qaeda mob that get caught, isn't it? When they get caught, and they all say, no, it wasn't me. And it's like, well, I thought you were going to blow yourself up. Surely you'd be giving it all like, yep. It was definitely me, ha ha ha, and they all go, nope, wasn't me. And it's just like, you're not so fucking, now. So I think it's all right when you're getting away with it, Dave. When you think you're going to get away with it, you're all the big hero. When the brains hit the fan, see what I did there? When you know what I mean, and it all comes down to you, all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, reality, just kidding. I'm all there, woohoo, look at me, I'm fucking mental. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you get caught and you're like, oh shit. Because I mean, why did he have a gun, Dave? Why did he shoot the copper? Why was he in the cinema? What's it called? Yeah, the cinema with a gun.
He was shitting himself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and when the copper came up, why did he hit the copper and then try and pull the gun on the copper? And also, if they wanted to kill him, why did they just shoot him then when he was pulling the gun? Why didn't they all kill him then? They had a perfect chance to kill Oswald right then and totally have a legitimate reason.
Good point, yeah.
I'm going to throw something out there, but have you ever seen the original Manchurian Candidate with Frank Sinatra in it?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Not sure, I've heard of it.
I have a do at that, boys, when it comes to taking out politicians and being... I'm not saying it, I've said it before, I've stated my place before, I'm not saying I believe it, but it comes from like, basically the premise of the film is they get brainwashed by the commies and the Chinese and all that to try and...
that definitely happens, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, to try to take people in the USA and that.
Well,
and,
Bobby Kennedy.
Kennedy went in 63. I think the film might have been. Hold on. Let
63, yeah.
The film was 1960, a year before.
Yeah, but the thing is, Andy, as well, is that
it's so powerful, it's unbelievable. And the amount of people that I speak to who have said, "Oh, I've never seen that," and it was actually had a remake.
Oh yeah,
I don't do remakes.
Yeah, Denzel Washington weren't it? Did the remake? Was it?
I think so, mate. Yeah. But the original was Frank Sinatra, Lawrence Irving, Angela Lansbury's around. Oh,
that's my film for this weekend. I'm going to watch that this weekend.
Yeah, honestly, mate, it does a really weird thing. And also, Sinatra, believe it or not, was also in another film which related to shooting the president called Suddenly in 1954, where somebody took a house or something like that, waiting for a president to come for a village. So make of that what you will.
Yeah. No, but the thing is as well is I don't.
You're always going to get things like that. You can do the one with the Simpsons with all. You can pick anything
love
out.
it with the
You
Simpsons.
can find anything back in history.
I bet chat loves that. I bet chat all thinks Simpsons are from the future, don't you, you mad bastards?
Best part of Simpsons by a country mile is when
Dave Mundy
calls it at bar from bar.
Can I just point Dave Mundy? By the way, Dave, my name's not spelled with a Y, you fucking prick. Anyway, go on, read that.
Hey, you'll be like that, bad tempered boys, because your internet shit.
No, I'm happy now. It's all back on.
And Steve knows where the past is. Don't you worry about that, Dave. Yeah, but what was I saying? I was going to make a point then. Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't like I said. I think Oswald did it. I think he shot him definitely, but did he have help? He might. Well, very well done. I'm not dismissing that for a fact. For a minute, you know, he might very well have had help, and the people might have just allowed things to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like it all worked very well.
I think that could be the case, and I think because all the other things are so confusing, or mingle everything up and mix and this and that, and he did that. The truth is lost on all these stories. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's virtually impossible to get to the absolute bottom of it.
The man's dead. So I mean, that's it. You know what I mean? So you're never going to get anything because you can't question the main mountain, the main protagonist. He's dead, and that's it. So then, and myths love people who can't answer. They absolutely love it, don't they? When you can't.
Oh, fucking hell! Sorry, I mean this is slightly on the same thing, John. You know the Pakistani fella that's gone over to is it Texas? He's been shot
from Blackburn.
Yeah, he went to mine and John's school. So John.
So it were you? Did you do fishy on him and turned him? Fish is a disgusting game that sees you play at school.
I mean, he had to go to get a school, didn't he? Really, fucking hell.
Well, Gary Barnett says wagon drivers know all about fiddle and corruption, don't they? Was not me, straight as an arrow. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that I do believe, because there's also a chance that it fell perfectly into Oswald's lap. Do you know what I mean? That he got the job there. He was a raging fucking loon. He had a gun. He really wanted to be someone.
Well, I think it seems that way, yeah.
Yeah, I know. And then bingo, president's coming right past my office where I work. Easy peasy.
Yeah, fuck it, he's having it.
Yeah, you know, that could happen. And, you know, so I'm not saying that I definitely do say that there is corruption, but I certainly believe that there could be.
Let's go through the options of what could have happened. There's that scenario. Literally, totally by himself, or he did get involved with the Russians and he's been sent back to eventually be ready for. They've gone, right, shoot the president, he's coming your way, this is your big shot. He's gone, all right, I'm on it. A version of that. Or that was
let's pull that one apart.
CIA, they've gone, we'll blame the Russians. There's so many, then the Cubans and then the mafia. So there's a few options of what have.
Yeah, but the one with the Russians is.
Sorry, they got a lot of form to blame with the Russians. They're still doing it now to this day, aren't they?
Oh, I don't watch news anymore, Dean. For that, I don't watch it.
Everything's the Russians. Everything.
Yeah. Well, now that COVID's kind of fallen off the wayside. Now, well, it has for me because I just don't watch it. COVID doesn't exist for me anymore. It fucking is. Just don't watch the news. It's brilliant.
It is. And then backtracking.
And then, I came on, and then it were on that the Russians again. I thought, oh, here we go now. COVID's like waning off now. It's not. So we're back to the Russians now. We're all going to die of Third World War now, are we? Turn it off. Let's put fucking ABBA on. Fuck off. You know. But I mean, like, say the ones the Russians are doing that one though. There's no way that it had been there 3 years, and then all of a sudden he's a Russian. And also, they only knew 11 days before that they were going down that road, that the president was going down. It was only decided 11 days before So there's no way that they got him a play. He started working there in October, 13th of October. He got his job there, and 22nd of November.
I mean, that's a big point when you really think about it. Let's presume that's absolutely true. So all that had to be organised in 11 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just seems so likely that it was just him being a fucking dick, basically.
No, Dave. No, Dave. Nobody thinks taking sides, pal. It's all part of the argument. That's what we want, Dave. That's it.
Yeah. No.
That one that got cat went to Plecky. I heard the news. Is Bigfoot real, was? We're going to have to do on Bigfoot. There's a good friend of mine who's a massive Bigfoot fan. Andy Hill. If you're out there, Andy Hill, you've got to come on this show and we'll have one on Bigfoot, pal.
No.
There's such a thing as a wobbly arrow, was. Hey? There's such a thing as a wobbly arrow. Does anybody know what that means?
Not everything flies as straight as you think, Warren.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, Gary. Yeah. Well done, Steve. Well done. You figured that out, there, Steve. He always does a bit of a sniff when he's there. All right, geezer. That's right. Yeah, sorted that, didn't I? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. One of your lot, Dino. Yeah. That's right, geezer. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right, Dino, mates.
All right, Dave. Hey, Steve. All right, Steve. Oh, my shoulders give me some chip. Oh, dear, my shoulders. Call your dogs off, mate. Stitch me up like a kipper. My wife's gonna kill me. Sorry, Dean. Went a bit mental there. I'm back. I do things like that every now and again. I think it's some kind of release. Dave's out. Dave's there. Why didn't Lee shoot J.F.K. when he was coming towards him or directly under him? Why wait till he's 9? He tried. But you can't shoot when he was towards him because the window was facing the other way.
Goggle Earth. You can go on to Goggle Earth and get a better picture of when they turned into Elm Street. It literally had to go like, all right, here we go. Fucking out of the tree.
Yeah. And then his first shot, yeah. Did he hit the traffic light? Did it the first shot? Did it?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah. Because his first one, Dave, he tried to fire down like that. And I think, when you're in your scope, because you've only got a narrow vision, haven't you? Like tunnel vision. So he did that, and then he fired, and it's like fucking, and he apparently glanced off this traffic light, them that they have overhead. And then obviously he reloaded, and then fucking. Because I tell you what, right? Watch this video. I'll play it again. Right, this video. Go on. Of how much time he has with the shots. Because he'd done this, and it's all timed out. But when you look at it, you think, if you're a good shot, that's not that hard a shot. So watch the time.
God, it's freezing again.
You know what I mean? It's not as hurried, is it?
I missed all that, for fuck's sake.
You've seen it twice. What's going on with you? You sound like porn that you keep fucking watching. It's fucking up with your internet.
Me?
Why
I can't even.
Why haven't the security services checked out buildings like that, which could be of an eminent danger to people driving past? Because they've had previous presidents already assassinated.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. Yeah. Kennedy would never have said as an individual, don't put any security on the route. I want to make it look like this, that, and the other. He would have been massively talked down. So
no, definitely. He didn't say, like that's the security cocking up there, definitely, because they wanted him to have. I think they wanted him to have the bubble top thing, didn't they? And all that, all around him. Like he has like a bubble top. They're saying it wouldn't have stopped the bullet, but he could have done anything. He could have deflected it or whatever. It made it a much harder shot. But he wanted to be with his people. But security-wise, why didn't he check it all out? And that's a really good point. I mean, you look at that going down. If anybody's going to shoot, it's going to be from that, from there, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. From my own research, I just think this guy was not in the face of it exactly anti-establishment, but he wanted to make some bloody changes. But let's face it, presidents, prime ministers, they don't run the show, do they? There's other folk and all that. Yeah. So they've got to keep things as joined up as they possibly can, regardless of who's voted in.
I mean, the whole idea of a president is fucking weird, isn't it? It's as is a prime. Well, at least
it's a leader, isn't
it? I know, yeah, but I mean that's it. But he doesn't lead. He doesn't actually. He's not in charge, is he? Really?
Well, they can't because
I will say, of all presidents and all this shit that you hear, he's one of the best speakers. And the way he comes across, he's like he comes across as a really good guy that wants to make a difference.
J.F.K.
If you listen to his old,
J.F.K. He was. He was all for human rights. He wanted to get
all this fucking absolute buffoon we've got now, compared to, you know what I mean?
Boris is a true champion. He's British through and through. Blue. I mean, I wouldn't mind. British through and through. He's got blonde hair.
It's not the meeting.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
I mean, I couldn't believe when he was mayor. I mean, when they voted him mayor. I mean, it's like Billy Connolly said, doesn't it? Anybody who wants to become an MP should not allow to become an MP. Dave says, did Bigfoot shoot JFK? That's a good point. What do you mean there's a windshield? He's 6 floors up. No, it's like a bubble thing. They had a big bubble thing, doesn't it? That's an easy shit for someone with training, says Dave.
Sorry about Dave from Australia. He's actually from Australia. When he says shit, he means shot.
We know he means shot, but let's just stay with shit because it's funny.
Australia Day, mate. Anyway, it's Aussie Day. Australia Day.
Australia Day. They just block this prick.
You know, we should realise we should have done an Australia show instead of a fucking this silly shit with no Wi-Fi. No, it's been good.
Are you not plugged in?
We should do an Australia there.
Of course you plugged in. Hey, don't let me finish off, yeah? That's an easy shit for someone with training. If you want to see a good shooter in film, watch Wolf Creek. That is ace. Australia. Have you seen Wolf Creek?
I watched Wolf Creek in Sydney when we had to wait for the court case to be finished before it was released. And then when it was released, we went to pictures to watch it.
What court case?
The court case for the nut job that was the film was very loosely based on a fucking crack job in Australia.
All right.
And yeah, so they wouldn't release it because it'd be biased.
That's a top film. Have you seen that, Andy? Have you seen Wolf Creek?
I liked it when he had a fart. Anyway, you have to watch the film.
I have, yeah.
Oh, what a top film that is. That's an ace film. That when he does that, when that bloke goes, he goes, "That's not a knife." And he turns around and looks at him and he's like, "You were going to get your fucking head kicked in." Thanks, mate. Pissed us. Well done, Dave.
He will be because he's 6 or 7 hours possibly ahead of us. So he's
a dirty stop, but that's 6
4
in the morning.
On
a Thursday, 4:40 a.m. in here. David, what are you doing up
He doesn't work, the lazy cunt.
You lazy bastard. Get a bloody job.
North east of Thailand.
He's on the old San Miguel, isn't he?
I'm on the whiskey tonight. I got myself a JD.
Oh, he likes his
I've got
San
one
Miguel.
small glass of wine.
Oh,
Chuck de duh.
Chuck de duh. What's Chuck de duh?
Chuck de duh.
Anyway, what do you get up to, Andy?
Out tonight, my friend. I've not been so well for a bit. It's not the old bloody lurgy, don't worry about that. It's somewhat more else, but yeah, it's not a great amount really. This is only the second time I've been on YouTube, so it's still a bit of a learning curve.
Really?
Jimmy's program.
Have I not seen you on Jimmy's?
Yeah, for the week I was on about different stuff with Paul Maiden. And what interests me about YouTube is if you've got a subject matter like you have tonight and like Jimmy had the other week, I'll dive in. You know, I'm not bothered about not having done it before. I might not look like a YouTuber or anything like that, but couldn't give a shit, to be honest.
No, it
I'll have a
doesn't
chat with
matter.
you, you know.
Yeah, no, it's the thing. He's coming on. You've all made the show a lot better tonight by being on, so we totally appreciate that. You know what I mean? No, you have. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I think you've got a good concept, honestly. I messaged you the other day, didn't I? I said I like the fact that you have subject matters. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you can do your 9/11 next week. Week after that might be Area 51. Week after that, you know what I mean? You can just
Yeah,
We're going to do aliens, aren't we? We haven't done the UFO. Have we done the UFO? Yeah. We keep talking about it, but we've not done a full UFO one. It's definitely coming.
Yeah, Steve, I'm not going off like we did before, but I thoroughly believe it was a golden arrangement that the government had at the time. I think they faked the Roswell to protect that, the fact that they're doing it's a military testing site.
Of course it is.
The Roswell thing was bloody ideal, and what it's bred out of Americans now is a conspiracy about Roswell and believing in UFOs.
We love it.
So again, we can talk.
Yeah, that makes more sense, doesn't it?
I think that was a stroke of genius by someone in the American government there.
It's too much of a coincidence, isn't it? For them to come all the way from whatever to land in a place where they test strange flying objects.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hubble's not seen anything. The James Webb telescope's up there now, and that's going to be at a settling point in, I think it's like a month or something like that. So you've got that going on in space, but yet they don't see anything. You know.
No, that's exactly it. I mean,
it'd be very interesting. Be very interesting to know how far they are ahead of what they're doing and what will eventually come out, because they must be well ahead. You know, eventually all the secrets and all shit somehow comes out, but they're definitely ahead of us. They have to be, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely. You got to get it wrong. You get it right. They'll keep flying them around Lord Show and crashing all Lord Show, and things fucking up. And people going, I saw something I've never seen before. Well, that's the idea of like making technology, new technology. You know what I mean? We don't get to see it all of a sudden, do we? Like and everything.
Did you ever see that? There was some, I think it was in Australia, and they went to some woman. She said, "It's a UFO right above my car, right above my car." She describes his lights. This bloke, he was like a news broadcaster. He said, "Was it a dot here at the top, a dot there, and a dot there?" She went, "Yeah." She went, "It's a stealth. It's a stealth. It's a stealth plane." They had the lights underneath, and he proved it to her. She was absolutely gobsmacked, but it goes to show how easily unidentified flying object doesn't mean it's alien. It means the human eye, whoever's looking at it, cannot identify it. It doesn't mean it's not bloody man-made. But anyway, I don't want to keep moving the program away from something else.
Well, we'll move on that similar vein, Andy. I was looking for stuff for J.F.K. And I drifted onto a forum. I thought, what am I doing on a forum? That's where everybody comes up. And and the question was, why did Lee Harvey Oswald shoot Officer Tippett? He could claim to be a patsy for JFK, but for a street cop, what was he thinking? And this person answered, "Thank you for the to air. I don't think he was thinking. He was acting out of fear. Imagine being sent on missions by the CIA and successfully completing your mission, only to find yourself accused of killing the president and the entire country after you. Kennedy was in favor of full disclosure regarding the aliens visiting our planet. He thought it was wrong to keep citizens in the dark." I was like, I don't want to go on these places. So that's why they shot Kennedy, because he wanted to tell everybody about the aliens. Woo-hoo!
Well, should we do next week all things UFO next Wednesday?
Oh, I don't know. Well, Dean wanted 9/11, and Rizzler's all over 9/11. Not that.
Listen,
right.
do 9/11.
Next
I'll
Wednesday,
come back with a good one.
9/11 number 1, UFOs number 2. Press your buttons now.
And what are we doing on Saturday? Are we having a pop quiz Saturday? Are we having another pop quiz type thing?
Let's have a pop quiz and truth or bullshit, because I've got some good truth or bullshit ones.
All right, yeah. Truth or bullshit?
Yeah.
Pop quiz then.
We'll do a pop quiz, truth or bullshit, Saturday night.
Truth or bollocks. It's never been bullshit. It's truth or bollocks. I even got a big, massive pair of bollocks on the last thing. Oh, Andy, If you like, then have you ever heard of the Unabomber?
That's a good one. He's a very interesting one.
We did one back ages ago. We've got all the back catalogue of what we've done on ours. We did a really good one on the Unabomber, and you'll get to listen to Steve's manifesto. Steve wrote his own manifesto.
Oh shit! I can't make it this Saturday.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm moving to Southport.
You said that last Saturday.
1-0 to me. I can't even see it as well. I'm behind, but I presume I've won. Internet's doing my pizza tonight. Can you see that? I can't see.
John says, out here in the desert, you see all sorts of lights at night. It's all military. God damn straight it is. 2. What did we say 2 was? I can't remember now.
2. 2's UFO in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've got UFOs then. So could be going UFOs then. Oh, it's all controversial. Right then. So Saturday, Truth or Bollocks pop quiz then. Dick Silloy joining for that one.
But when's not just UFOs, like aliens in general as well, like ETs and.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing, isn't it? I think if you put UFOs, people are going to associate aliens with UFOs, aren't they? Unless they mean an 80s metal band.
Prog rock, actually.
You ain't prog rock.
They're prog rock, they're not metal.
They fuck doctor, please. That's not prog rock, you prick.
That's the song where we had this mental guy, a proper mental person, that we got singing for us. And he said I wrote this song, and we started all learning it and blah blah blah. And that was it, weren't it? We recorded it, and somebody said that's UFO.
Was that Ken?
Isn't it? Yeah, we'll go back to UFO. Right, so what you have to do, because it's all freezing again. Right, I'm gonna. What kind of gun was it that he shot? I'm gonna kill myself with it right now.
It was a Karamac. I don't know what they call it. Oh no, that's what you fucking know.
Oh, USO as well. You're right, Carlos.
What's USO again? Undersea. That's right. Undersea. Right. So Wednesday we'll do all UFOs and the lot. We'll do the fucking lot. Honestly, I promise, Dean, we'll get round to 9/11. We will do it.
Yeah. Listen, I'm ready. I'll be ready.
And Andy, get all your UFO stuff going on then, boys. And let's have you back here on where. And let's have you on Saturday as well for the old quiz and all that. And generally on Saturday we get shit faced. That's what it was, yeah. The Cara Model 35, that was the one. And and on Saturday we all get pissed. Have a good crack. Truth or Bollocks. Have you ever played Truth or Bollocks, Andy?
I've watched your previous programs.
Oh, it's always good, it's Truth or Bollocks. And we'll have a bit of a pop quiz thing going on there as well. We've also got, we're going to have to put the link up for Paul Sykes, aren't we? So that people can watch it.
Yeah, get it.
I'm not doing it Saturday because I'm not ready yet. I haven't tried it yet.
I'm way off doing the whole thing.
Yeah, right. You so shit. You've been trying it for ages. Right, there's this nut job, right, called Paul Sykes. He's really funny. And he's a proper, I've done this and all that, all this lot. So me and Steve, I was thinking of doing mine in the style of Al Pacino.
Oh, Al Pacino, right?
Yeah, and I think you should do what's he called? Frank Spencer.
No, I'm doing mine in the style of a few people. Frank Spencer.
Give us a teaser of Frank
I'm a
Spencer.
perfect citizen. How do you think I got this house? Also, I'm a perfect citizen.
I feel about John Merrick.
Elephant Man. There were two options I got, and also himself, anyway.
Yeah. Right, so we'll have to put Right, that's good. Oh dear. Can't believe he told you racist not joke and all the other night. Right then. We know you're not doing it. Fuck off. Right then. Right, we'll call that a do for tonight, I think. That was a good one, that. I enjoyed that. Thanks for coming on, fellas. So,
Dean, it's been a pleasure, man. At the same time, fuck off, Dean. Oh no, don't fuck off a lot of you.
Put me off, Steve.
No, you're still here. Right, so we'll see you on Saturday night for all shits and giggles and all that. Bollocks.
Saturday night, shits and giggles, all that lot. Thanks a lot for coming, guys. Toodly-doo.
Good night, everyone.
Goodbye.
Good night. Have you done the end thing?
Yeah.